Hey, what's up? This is gonna be another amendment video, I guess, to my last video I just did. Uh, but anyway, it's to Alberta Parish, and one of the things I forgot to mention in that video that I'll just mention now is actually it's right here. I have my own copy of the Bible. I read it. Now, there are instances when this book can actually help people. I get that. I get that if you were trying to comfort someone who was dying. I get that. Religion can come in useful if somebody who doesn't know any better, like a child or somebody who needs some sort of comfort, is dying, let's say of cancer. I'm okay with that. If you're a living person and you believe in the Bible and you believe that God is actually speaking to you, seek mental help. Alright? Well, not for just believing in the Bible, but if you actually think you see God, like tangibly see Him, like you can see me right now, you can actually hear His voice, you're schizophrenic. I hate to tell you that, but you are. Also, one of the main things that I have a problem with is that you have to respect religion and respect religious people. People keep telling me that don't attack people for their beliefs. And actually, I'll ask this to Alberta. Let's say, Alberta, that I was highly intelligent. You just met me. I was very intelligent. I was a very peaceful person. I helped people, I gave money to charity and all that. But let's say then you found out that I was a member of the KKK. Well, I'm sure you disagree. Well, if I was, and while you disagree with that organization, would you disagree with me and not respect me as a person? Knowing that I help people and I give money to charity and I spend a lot of time, but let's say I spend a lot of time down at the soup kitchen feeding homeless people and, helping them get places to sleep. But I'm also a member of the KKK at the same time. Do you stop respecting me as a person? I'll give you that answer. Yes, you should. Because while I do help people, and I may do a lot of things, even if let's say if I was a member of the KKK, I also help black people at soup kitchens and whatnot. But on the weekends, I was out there burning crosses and fucking putting on sheets and shit. Yes, you should stop respecting me. The reason being, I am part of and I stand by the principles of a very violent, evil organization that has caused many deaths and is filled with hatred and is full of rhetoric about separatism. Just because I help people does not forgive me for standing behind an evil organization like the KKK or the neo-Nazis, whatever you want to put the scenario in. And I find that way with religious people. Religious people may be smart or brilliant and whatnot, but you are part of an organization that has killed millions of people. When it comes to this organization, while you may fairly be intelligent about other things, many people make up lies about it. And they try to convince others that, like how you did to Angie the Anti-Theist. Or Brett Keane sent you a video response about, or made a video about you, saying about how God condoned abortions, and He does. It's in the Bible that He condones ripping the children out of the womb, shit like that. You said to him, and this is one of the things that I love about atheism, and it allows me to point out these things, If an atheist said some shit like that, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck, you're fucking crazy. You said, oh, so you basically said, it didn't mean abortion, it meant killing pregnant women. If you got a myth that condones killing anybody, um, it's fucking evil, alright? It's fucking crazy, alright? There are many, Christians here on YouTube I've seen who have said if God said to them to kill their wives and their children, and shit like that, that they would do it, alright? What these people are really saying, because God does not really speak to you, alright? And if he really does, if you really truly are hearing his voice, I'm not talking about that usual Christian thing like, oh, I feel it in my heart and I feel his presence. I'm not talking about that. If you actually hear his voice, check into a hospital and stay there. Do not come out until you stop hearing that voice, because you're going to kill somebody one day. But they've said many times that they'd kill their own wives and children if God commanded them to. What they're really, in a weird innuendo sort of way, saying is that they're waiting for God to speak to them so that they can kill their wife. That they're not saying, oh, well, if he said, I'd do it, What they're saying is, I'm just waiting for her to piss me off, and then I'll kill her, and I'll tell people, well, God commanded me. That's what they mean. But while you may be a nice person, while you may be an intelligent person, you stand behind an organization that has murdered and raped its way across Europe during its inception. Take the Inquisition, for example. The Inquisition was all about torture and murder and rape. Rape was a form of torture that they used. If you were a female as well as a male who claimed to be a Christian, like if you were a Muslim and you said, oh, I'm a Christian, so please don't kill me, they would, just in case you were lying, they would rape you, they would stab you, they would cut you, they would do many, many things to get you to admit that you were really still a Muslim. Now, the thing about this torture is, with many tortures, it doesn't stop until you admit guilt. So they keep telling you, if you just tell us the truth, we'll stop. And of course people said, oh, I'm really Muslim, to get them to stop. And they probably were really Muslims. Then it proceeded from there to burning. Now that's what we call the Dark Ages. But it was the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, and the Italian Inquisition ordained by the Vatican. But that might be a little bit in the past. You can say, oh, well, that was in the past, and people didn't know what they were doing. The Inquisition lasted until about the 1870s. Alright, when we were over here fighting the Civil War to free blacks, they were over there fucking burning them still. Right over across the pond in Europe. Now, 1870, you're thinking, oh, well, I thought this was the Dark Ages. There's an official date for the Inquisition, and there's the unofficial one. They said it lasted until about the 1650s. It really lasted until about the 1870s, because they're still, and actually in some parts of Europe, they're still burning people today. Not in mass numbers, it's like, small villages and shit like that, but take the Middle East. If you want to get real modern, take the Middle East. They stone people to death. Stone women to death for showing their skin and things like that. In America, you've got, as far as people killing people, you got this guy Scott Roeder, who shot the abortion doctor in the back of the head in a church in front of little kids and shit like that. And everybody thinks he's a fucking hero. He's not. I can assure you. He fucking killed someone because a book told him to do it. But, as far as the vast majority of Christians goes, like Fred Phelps, if you don't know Fred Phelps, he's the guy who started the God Hates Fags picket signs and God Hates Jews and everybody else who's not Fred Phelps is really what he means. These people are what Christianity is really about, if you want to break it down. But anyway, that's all I got because I'm running out of time.